The sky had long lost the red glow of sunset, and a purple darkness had settled over the city. The noise of the crowd, the buzzing of neon signs, the restless movement of the streets. All of it belonged to a world Aras had never known. Only 3 days ago, he had moved here from Turkey, and this giant city felt both alive and suffocating at the same time, like a heavy wind pressing down on his soul. New school, new people, new rules. Everything was uncertain for Aras. But most of all, he had no idea what to do with himself. When his alarm rang for the second time that morning, he opened his eyes. He was tired. Or rather, he hadn't rested at all despite lying in bed. On the way to school, his mother told him, "You'll get used to it with time. Just be patient, son." But Aras didn't believe patience was enough. People stared at him, whispered to each other, and acted like he had a giant outsider label stuck on his forehead. When he stepped through the school gates, the noise hit him like a wave. The hallway was long, crowded, and chaotic. The other students walked confidently, as if this maze was their natural habitat. Aras was just a foreign object drifting through the flow. While looking at the school map to find his class, someone bumped into him. "Watch where you're going, man," the student shouted. Aras apologized and kept walking, but even disappearing into the crowd didn't make him invisible. When he entered the classroom, the only empty seat was next to a girl. Black leather jacket, slightly messy hair, dark eyeliner. Yet her eyes were surprisingly gentle. "Is this seat free?" Aras asked quietly. The girl nodded. "Yeah, sit." Her name was Leah. During lunch break, she approached him and spoke as if they had been friends for days. "The new kid. Aras, right?" Aras nodded again. He wasn't much of a talker, especially not with people he didn't know. Leah crossed her arms over her backpack and looked at him. "You know, this city scares everyone at first. But if you meet the right people, you start to speed up." "Speed up?" She winked. "Come with me tonight. Maybe you'll understand what I mean." "What's happening tonight?" "Street run," Leah said in a low voice. "Real races. Real adrenaline. The heartbeat of the city." Street run. The word was unfamiliar yet strangely appealing. He immediately understood that it was some kind of illegal racing event. But there was something secretive in Leah's eyes. Maybe this was the first moment he didn't feel like a stranger here. "Okay," Aras said. "I'll come." When night came, Leah texted him instructions. Aras took out his small, old motorcycle from the garage. It was the one reminder he still had from Istanbul. Not powerful, but reliable. The address was near the industrial district of the city. Even the rough asphalt shimmered under the neon glow. From a distance, he could hear the sound of engines. The scent of adrenaline was almost as real as the air. As he moved through the crowd, Aras felt his heartbeat quicken. Metal music blasted, people shouted, engines roared. He had never been anywhere like this. Leah appeared suddenly. "Welcome," she said with a smile. "Ready?" "Ready for what?" "I don't even know what's going on," Aras admitted. Leah smirked slightly and pointed through the crowd. "There's someone I want you to meet." Standing near a red and black motorcycle was a guy. Chain around his neck, confident face, muscular build. Everyone around him seemed to treat him with respect. This was Jay. Jay was Leah's boyfriend and the most popular racer in the entire street run scene. As Aras approached, Jay looked him up and down like he was inspecting something worthless. "Who's this?" Jay asked. "The new kid," Leah said. "A friend from school." Jay laughed mockingly. "A friend from school, huh? Why'd you bring him here? We need spectators or something?" Aras felt uncomfortable but hid it. "I just wanted to see what this is," he said. Jay stepped closer. "You think this place is open to tourists?" Leah cut in. "Jay, stop." Jay raised his hand to silence her. "Come on, new kid. Since you're here, let's see how brave you really are. The crowd exploded with excitement. People chanted, "New kid! New kid!" Jay leaned against his bike. "You're racing me." Aras froze. This was probably the stupidest offer he had ever received. But with everyone staring, he had to choose. If he backed out, he'd be labeled a coward. If he accepted, he risked humiliating himself completely. "Fine," Aras said. "I'll race." The crowd went wild. Before the race began, Aras sat on his bike. His legs were trembling. His motorcycle was old. Weak. Jay's machine looked like a weapon. On the starting line, both engines growled. Leah leaned toward Aras. "Stay calm. Even if it's your first time, you can do this." But fear was written all over Aras's face. The starter raised his hand. 3, 2, 1. Neon lights flared. "Go!" Aras fell behind instantly. Jay launched forward like a bullet. Aras pushed his bike, but it couldn't keep up. At the first turn, fear slowed him. Jay drifted through it in a cloud of smoke. By the time the race ended, the outcome was obvious: Aras had been crushed. Jay stopped next to him, laughing. "Welcome to the real world, new kid," he said. "Out here, stories don't matter. Speed does." Aras's face burned with shame. The crowd mocked him while Leah watched with sad eyes. "Don't be upset, Aras. It was your first race." But that night, Aras made himself a promise. "This place will be mine. I will win. One day, everyone here will say my name." From that day on, he spent every night in the garage. He took his bike apart, cleaned it, tried to tune it. Watched videos online, learned acceleration techniques, practiced cornering lines. He secretly did speed runs behind the school. One day, an old man walked into the garage. His eyes carried a wise glow. "What are you doing here day and night, son?" he asked. Aras paused. "I want to race." The old man chuckled. "With that bike? That bike has to be stronger than your soul, or it'll abandon you halfway." Aras lowered his head. "I don't have another bike." "It's not the bike, kid," the man said. "The soul is shaped by the rider." Aras didn't fully understand. But the old man taught him techniques, braking points, weight distribution, visual tracking, reading racing lines. Aras's world began to change. A month passed like that. Aras now understood the limits of his bike and of himself. His body grew stronger, his reflexes sharper, his vision clearer. Then came the long-awaited night, the big street run event. Leah texted him. "Come tonight. I have a surprise." When Aras arrived on his bike, the crowd was larger than ever. The neon brighter, the engines louder. Jay stood at the center like usual, radiating arrogance. But this time, people were whispering something else. "The new kid is back. They say he's ready now. Let's see what happens." As Aras walked through the crowd, eyes followed him. Not mockery this time, curiosity. Jay saw him and smirked. "You still haven't given up?" Aras took a steady breath. "I want another race." Jay burst into laughter. "All right. This time, I'll crush you completely." The crowd roared. At the starting line, Leah approached Aras. "I believe in you," she whispered. "This time everything will be different." Aras's heart pounded. Engines ignited. 3, 2, 1. Go! This time Aras didn't fall behind. His bike responded. He read the ground, sliced through corners, staying almost on par with Jay. Jay was stunned. This is impossible. The race was breathtaking. One corner to Jay, one corner to Aras. Jay took one straight. Aras took the next. The crowd was frantic. On the final straight, they were side by side. Wind smashed into their faces. Neon lights streaked past like comets. In Aras's mind, the old man's voice echoed. The soul of the bike is shaped by the rider. Aras opened the throttle fully. Jay screamed. You can't pass me. Aras closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them. You never know until you try. The bike surged ahead. He crossed the finish line a single step before Jay. The crowd erupted. Aras had won. Leah ran to him. Aras. You did it. Aras was breathless, but a pure smile lit up his face. Jay kicked his bike in rage, but no one cared anymore. Leah took Aras's hand. This is how I always imagined you. Aras looked into her eyes. I never imagined myself like this. The sky above them opened. Neon lights, smoke, noise, suddenly everything had meaning. The heartbeat of the city now belonged to Aras. And that night, everyone learned one thing. Every legend has a beginning. And this was the beginning of Street Origins.